But I'm gonna pose some of the same questions to you. You've been living here for 8 years. So, you know, I used to live here. You know, I moved out in '83. You know, I've seen a lot that happened in this area. You know what I'm saying? And I imagine that you've seen a lot more, you know, than some of the youth that just coming into the area to live or to hang out or whatever. You know, you have a new generation. How do you feel about the area right now? You know, opposed to when you first. Now, you were born here?
Yeah, I was born here, but I wasn't like. I was born here, but I moved out.
You moved out and came back?
Yeah.
All right. How old were you when you moved out the first time?
When I was a baby, I moved out.
So you don't remember that? All right. So basically, you remember the last 8 years.
Yeah.
All right. From the time of the beginning when you moved in and to now, how do you feel it's changed? Has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? What?
Like it get better, then it get worse, then it get better, then it get worse. It's like keep going up and down. Yeah.
How do you feel as a whole as far as what's happening to your people here in Edgemere and of course the broader, as we asked this brother, the whole Rockaway area? First start with your brothers and sisters here in the projects. How you feel about what's happening to them right now?
Like, I don't know, like this, like around here it's crazy. It's like it's a lot of stuff happening for no reason. Like there's a lot going on right now.
Like what? What's happening?
Yeah, explain the crazy.
Yeah, you gotta go into it a little deeper.
A lot of violence and stuff, like gangs and stuff, and innocent people getting shot and stuff.
Are you in a gang?
No, like I'm not in a gang, but like we have our own little circle who we chill with at like on like every day.
So do you consider your crew or the people that you hang out with a clique or gang, or do you have a name for yourselves, or they just your boys?
Nah, they're just my boys.
So you don't want to be a part of none of that negativity, basically, right?
Well, I don't want to, but like
it affects you.
Oh yeah.
See, that's what I want to get in. Yeah. See, that's where we're going in the right area.
Remember, you know, from the lectures, Minister Farrakhan speaking to the gangs, he said there's nothing wrong with gangs. There's nothing wrong with gangs or street organization.
Right.
It's positive for young brothers to come together and organize and whatnot. It's just that the outcome is a negative outcome. They have to change it to a positive outcome.
Right.
Instead of destroying their community, building their community, and protecting their people, and having respect and protection for their women. You know what I'm saying? The whole nine.
So with that being said, okay, being that you have your boys here, do you think by any chance that y'all being together is affecting a change in people who see you together as a crew, as a group?
No.
You don't think it's affecting anybody? Do you know sometimes you may not think that others have been affected by you, but they are? You know, I can say this for myself, that when I made a transition from a life of whatever, you know, living like a monster basically, and I went and turned righteous. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how many people were like looking up to me until I made that change. You know, sometimes you may not see like little babies, children looking at y'all, you know what I'm saying, and watching your every move because you in your own world, but they are checking you out. You know what I'm saying? And how you portray and how you act and how you carry yourself matters to them. So you don't honestly believe that there's some youth out here that look up to you?
Yeah, it's probably some kids that look up to us, but like older people probably look at us like, oh, they in gangs or something, they hoodlums. Like I don't want my kids to be like them and stuff like that.
So you think that you've been misinterpreted by the elderly? In some way, so y'all feel like y'all kind of cut off in this area from the elderly?
Some, like I'm not going like say it.
Not everybody, but there's some that you feel that it's a serious gap.
Yeah.
How do you think that gap can close? What do you think we could do to close that gap? Because that's part of the problem. Part of the reason why the youth is being attacked, because the elderly is cut off from the youth. There's no unity between the elderly, the youth, and the youth is cut off from each other. It's splits. It's divide and conquer.
And the older ones are not standing up.
Yeah, they're not
dealing with the police officers because we can we could demand respect overnight. We could stop this overnight. We
Overnight.
had unity amongst the older to stop this madness, because they're under so much pressure right now, to where they don't like early when you was interviewing him. He said I guess, you know, this is what the police officer's supposed to do.
Right.
You know, it's not what they're supposed to do.
It's not.
You know,
it's
so
not.
he already programmed this mind that this is how we supposed to be treated.
It's the norm.
We're supposed to be treated like animals.
You
We're supposed to be
automatically
treated like slaves, like nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just real crazy. It's real crazy.
So with that said, you know, being at the fact, you know, that everybody's like pretty much under this program of disunity, what do you think? Honestly, this is something that I'm sure it's something that you thought about. And what did you think could actually help? What do you think you can do or we can do to help change the situation between the relationship between the youth and the elderly in the area?
I mean, like, I don't think there's nothing we could do, cause like we just, like, the things we do, like, we don't really like cause much harm for the elderly. Like we probably, like, we still young, we having fun. We probably be outside making a lot of noise or something, and they'll call the cops on us or something. Like we're not doing nothing much. We just outside having fun, or like we outside cracking jokes or something, and they like call the cops on us, like, for what reason?
Do you think that because it's always good to look within self first before you condemn others? So do you think there's anything that you can do personally to help better your situation and your relationship with the elderly, to maybe get on the road of recovery for this area with regards to that? In other words, is there something that, like, looking in the mirror, that you feel that you could do as a sign of peacemaking towards those who may have misinterpreted you, so that you can start a dialogue with them and maybe get on the road to a new change here in Edgemont? Because it's going to start with us, and the problem is obviously that we're disunified. We're disconnected from each other. So what are you going to do for yourself and your own person to make a change in the future?
Well, when we see people, like, or the elderly in the buildings or something, like, we say, how you doing? Help them with their bags, open the door, be nice to them and stuff. But like, we never disrespect them or nothing. So I don't see why, like, they will, like, look at us like how they look at us.
Okay.
I guess
so you always do help the elderly out and whatnot, but when you playing and stuff, you feel that they misinterpret what you're doing and think it's some rah-rah going on.
Yeah.
Because you gotta look at it from their point of view too. They living in a kill zone. You know what I'm saying? And if they misinterpret something out of fear, they may call 911. See, the whole situation is being created to have the elderly who've been cut off from y'all and don't feel y'all to actually call the police on y'all. It's been set up like that. So it's like, you gotta know at this point, like, look, I can't play into it no more, because they on a program too. Just when we've been using that word, it's been popping up, program. They program to call the police whenever there's a problem. They gonna call for the police to eliminate their own people. So you gotta start thinking about how am I gonna make a change in that situation, because I'm triggering it. Whether I know it or not, or whether I want to or not, rather, your action is triggering it. So that's why you got to go again back to the mirror. What can you do to help change it? Because you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. If you doing the same thing over and getting the same results over and over again, it's time to make a change somewhere. You can't complain like we do in the elevator every time we see piss in the elevators no more and say, oh, it's just disgusting. You got to attack the problem, and you got to start with self. So we're going to get back to you on that. That's something that you got to